The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Some Pharisees came to Jesus and said, "Go away, leave this area because Herod wants to kill you." He replied, "Go and tell that fox, behold, I cast out demons and I perform healings today and tomorrow, and on the third day I accomplished my purpose. Yet I must continue on my way today, tomorrow, and the following day, for it is impossible that a prophet should die outside of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who kill the prophets and stone those sent to you, how many times I yearned to gather your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, but you were unwilling. Behold, your house will be abandoned. But I tell you, you will not see me until the time comes when you say, 'Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord.'" The Gospel of the Lord. As I said earlier, in this Mass we include to pray for those who ask us to pray for them, even as we include to pray for the eternal repose of the souls of the faithful departed. And tomorrow, the day after, we celebrate All Saints, All Souls, All Saints. So the theme for this week is about not death. I want to say it straight. It's not death, it's life. We Christians, we believers, we do not celebrate death. We only celebrate life. Please bring that message with you. We do not celebrate death, we celebrate life. All souls and all saints, these days are celebration of life, not death. The Gospel just read, Jesus was warned by these Pharisees, "Go away, leave this place. Herod wants to kill you." Jesus was presented with a threat that Herod wants your head, that Herod is after you. He wants to kill you. But look at Jesus' response. I hope you heard it loud and clear. Jesus said, "Tell that fox, I cast out demons, I perform healings today and tomorrow. On the third day I accomplish my purpose. Yet I must continue on my way today, tomorrow, and the following day." Not a threat, not even the threat of death can stop Jesus. As if Jesus is telling these people, what is something new with death? Death is something most universal. Regardless of what religion you are identified, death is most universal. We know all of us will die. You've been to wake, you've been to funerals. Do you think you're exempted from dying? All of us will die. And all will experience death. And here Jesus is saying, what is new to it? I will die, but I will continue my work today, tomorrow, or next day. I don't know when death comes, but I must live my life every day. You know, this is a beautiful reminder to all of us. Let us take death as an everyday, as a part of our lives, every day of our lives. As if death is something that will come to us tomorrow or far in the future. No. Death is an everyday reality. We should face that. We should face that death is part of our everyday reality. That it could happen anytime. The most tragic thing in life is this. It's not when death comes, I tell you, because death is universal and it could happen anytime. The most tragic thing in life is not death. I don't know if you agree with me. The most tragic thing in life is this, that when death comes, we realize that we fail to live. That is the most tragic thing in life, not death, because death happens anytime. But when it happens and you fail to live, when it happens and you wasted life, that is most tragic. That is most tragic. that when death comes, you fail to love. When death comes, you fail to forgive. When death comes, you were so unkind to people. That is most tragic. That is most tragic. Let us accept death. Let us embrace death, that it is part of our daily living. At night, when we sleep, we make the sign of the cross, then we remind ourselves, Lord, thank you for the day that has passed. Lord, I hope you will wake me up tomorrow. Lord, thank you for a beautiful life. We should make death a part of our everyday life. Christ says, yes, I acknowledge the threat, but Christ says, I must continue on my way today, tomorrow, and next day, regardless of when death comes. Because through Christ, everyday living is about loving every day. That makes life. I want to say it again. We Christians, we do not celebrate death. We only celebrate life. It's life we celebrate. And let's truly celebrate life every day. Every day. Let us celebrate life. Tomorrow, All Saints, All Souls, please tell people it is a celebration of life, not death. Please do not contribute and do not participate in why I wonder why it has become so popular. No? We wear masks. What else? We decorate these things that contribute to horror and fear. We forget that this is even the reason why All Souls and All Saints are celebrated around November. Don't you know that these feasts are celebrated before these feasts are part of Easter celebration? Easter meaning Christ's resurrection. Why? Because there can never be saints if Christ has not risen. So sainthood is connected with the resurrection of Jesus. So Christ is risen. Because He is risen, then He is God. And those who followed Him and those who obeyed His command, then they are rightly called saints. So sanctity, sainthood is connected with Christ's resurrection. Before, All Saints is part of Easter celebration. But why is it transferred around November? Because during that time, early Christianity, around November, December, there is this pagan feasts. Pagan feast about worship of gods and goddesses. Pagan feast about worship of evil even. And that is what is happening even till present. We have this feast transferred around November, December to combat or to preach against death or to go against pagan worship. But why is it? Even to us Christians, claim to be believers, and yet as if we side with the pagan celebration, when we should be preaching about life, when we should be preaching about sainthood, how to get to heaven. We should not forget that. Please, let us deliver the message. There are even times I celebrate Mass on All Souls and All Saints. Then here comes people entering the church, joining the Eucharistic celebration, and they are wearing these masks. How come the devil comes in? Please deliver the message. We are not celebrating life. Death. We are celebrating life. As we continue this Eucharistic celebration, let us celebrate life. Let us be thankful to God for the gift of life. That's why when we enter churches, in most, especially with old churches, you have this images, something elevated, and even on the ceilings. Why? Because we are made to look up. There is death, yes. Death comes, yes. Because this life has to come to an end. This life has to come to an end. Why? Because there is more to this life. When we enter churches, this altar is some kind elevated from where you are, because we are made to look a little bit higher. To remind as we go through life that death comes, but we are not preparing for death. we are preparing for heaven. We are meant to look up because to remind that in this life, there is much suffering, there is much pain, and the highest of it is death. We call even in one prayer, we say, this is a valley of tears. Why? Why? Because there is more to this life. Christ died, He resurrected, He ascended, and He said, I will go ahead of you to prepare a place for you in my Father's house. There is more to this life, my dear friends. There is more to what this life has to offer. Be it bad or good in this life, there is more to it. So when you enter churches, look up and say, Lord, thank you for this beautiful life. When that comes, Lord, I hope I am made ready to enter heaven. My dear friends, let us celebrate life, not death.